Welcome to the fourth lesson in week 4 of our computer science course. In this lesson, we'll learn how we can decompose a problem and create reusable components. In this lesson, we'll look at the benefits of decomposition and the benefits of creating reusable components, and we'll look at an example of a procedure. Decomposition means breaking a large problem down into smaller parts. It's a very common technique in programming. By breaking a difficult problem down into smaller parts, we make a hard problem easier to solve. We also make our code more readable because it consists of small, simple parts put together. Breaking our problem down into parts lets us share the work among a team of programmers. So these are all really significant benefits to decomposition. Another advantage of decomposition is that the individual parts that we make might be suitable for reuse in future work. Reusable parts are even more helpful than decomposition on its own. If we decompose a problem into reusable parts, then in the long run, we save a lot of time and produce less work and stress for ourselves. Next time we want to write a program, we can reuse the procedures and functions that we wrote before and get the job done much more quickly. Another advantage of reusable parts is that if we're using parts that we've used before, we know that they work. We've tested them and we've used them in real life, and so they're more reliable than new components that we've written for the first time. And the other big advantage of reusable parts is that we can share the work that we've done with other members of our team or of the wider programming community, and we could benefit from that ourselves as well. The reusable parts that we're going to be working with this week and the next couple of weeks are procedures and functions. Do you remember how to write procedures and functions in Python? Are these ideas completely new to you? Do you vaguely remember them but feel a bit unsure, or are you very confident that you can write procedures and functions? If you're not clear about the difference between a procedure and a function, how we define and call procedures and functions, and how we capture the returned values of functions, then go to the beginners page, Python pages on YouTube, and revisit lessons 19 to 21. This will remind you of everything you need to know. I'm leaving it up to you to decide if you need to do that, but I'm assuming that by the time of the next lesson, you'll be ready to write your own procedures and functions. Now we're going to do a very simple worked example. We're going to write a simple procedure with no parameters or returned values. And for this, we're going to revisit the fox and hen program that you wrote in lesson 3.2. Do you remember that picture of getting the fox, hen and grain across the river? So open that program and be ready to add a new procedure to it. And here's the new procedure. So this is the existing program. Every time you go round the loop, you display the position of you, the fox, the hen and the corn. So we're going to take that code out and make it into a new procedure called show place at the top of our code, and then we're going to call that procedure inside the loop. So you can stop this lesson now. You could copy the code that I've shown here. You can have a go on your own without looking at my example, or you can do this at the end of the lesson. So to recap, you should have notes on what decomposition is and the advantages of decomposition. You should have notes on what reusable components are and the advantages of that way of programming. You should check that your knowledge of procedures and functions is up to date, and if it's not up to date, you need to take steps to get yourself ready for the next lesson. And finally, as a quick exercise, adapt the example program of the fox and the hen. So just to recap what your next steps are, it's up to you, but if you're not sure, then revisit lessons 19 to 21 of Python pages to refresh your memory of functions and procedures. Open the fox and hen program that we made before and add a new procedure called show place. You can do this by copying my notes or to do this using your own skills. Be ready in the next lessons where we're going to be writing more procedures and functions. Okay, see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.